Well, another day, another diss track.
Dave Portnoy is so back solo without Josh Richards.
With a new Diddy.
With a new country Diddy. So, as we know, Dave released the Smallest Man diss track last week. I guess because Zach is signed to Warner Music and Josh is also signed to Warner Music.
A little bit of a conflict of interest.
I don't know how they can claim it and copyright it so many times, but Dave went solo, releasing a new version on his own.
Which I don't really like as much as the first one.
Nothing will beat.
Yeah. Nothing will beat the Smallest Man.
Nothing will beat Smallest Man.
But we have some new information in a country ditty.
Couple new revelations.
Offered Bree 13 mil just to shut her trap. Then she turned around, said shove it up your ass.
So he's saying 13 million.
Yeah.
We heard it was 12. So maybe they offered her another million.
Or maybe it was 12.498.
But you think they would have said the...
I know.
Yeah. My guess is maybe they're still throwing
He's
money
still
at her.
trying to get her to sign. Oh my gosh.
I mean, probably not, but it would be funny if that was.
That would be hilarious. What's she gonna take? 12 million, 13 million, sold.
It's like Deal or No Deal.
I heard those crotch crickets are the deadliest catch. Heard he got discharged to go make some hits. Funny this discharge leaking out of your dick.
They have been making fun of Zach's looks.
Again.
Not very nice. But they used Lego figures in this specific video.
To reference a square head?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
It's funny, but the Diddy reference is a bit.
Yeah, they're basically
we're going hard.
He's the country
version of Diddy, which is...
That's a bit of a reach.
It's a bit of a reach.
Because the allegations about Diddy are...
quite insane compared to Zach's.
Insane.
But Dave Portnoy is coming for his throat.
Yeah, and I think Dave's going to get a lot of heat for this one. I mean,
I don't think so.
But comparing him to Diddy, you don't think so?
I think Dave Portnoy does whatever he wants and no one can tell him otherwise.
I mean, that's true. We'll see.
We'll see what Zach does, but
it's almost at 1 million views right now, so it's shooting up there.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be a number one.
Maybe it'll get a Grammy nomination.
Stranger things have happened.
I'm waiting for some sort of Zach lawsuit to come, like him trying to sue Bree or Dave or the podcast.
I'm just a little worried about his mental health too, because he hasn't always been the most stable, and there's only so far someone much someone can take.
According to social media, he seems to be. He released 2 new songs the day the podcast came out. He announced a bunch of new tour dates.
But what do we know about social media?
Well, exactly. But he seems to be pushing along as just focusing on his career type thing. So another crazy revelation in this one was a reference about Grace O'Malley, which we know is Bree's best friend and podcast co-host. So Dave sings... or raps, sorry.
Very, very different decisions.
You say you hate Grace, that you're nothing alike. Then the song Pink Skies is based on her life. So I think Dave here is criticizing Zach of taking inspiration from Grace's life and writing a song about it. But as we know, that's what most songwriters do, is take inspiration from not only their own lives, but other people's lives. But I think the bigger accusation is here is Dave saying you hated Grace, but then you wrote a song about her life.
Right.
And when Zach released the song, a lot of people assumed it was about, his mom, because his mom passed away and a lot of his songs talk about grief. But he came out and said, every time I sing about someone dying, people assume it's about my mom. This definitely was not. I just think all the dynamics in the families are beautiful and interesting, and generationally, it's a really cool thing. And apparently Zach went with Bree to Grace's grandma's funeral.
Okay.
So Dave is now making it seem like this song was direct inspiration from Grace's life. But I think the issue here is that he took advantage of her story, even though he hated her and would be a dick to her. But he took it to write a hit song.
Let's see the fallout from that. Maybe Grace will want royalties from
Grace takes it down for copyright.
Yeah. And we are hearing a lot more about Grace. A lot of people are calling her out on social media, saying you always had Bree's back all the time, and then now you're silent. So then that poses the question, did she take money?
Did she get paid off? Well, she posted an Instagram story yesterday breaking her silence. She wrote a big statement on it. And the biggest takeaway from that, I think, was the photo that she wrote the text on was a photo around a bonfire. And as we know, Bree claims that Zach once yelled at her friends around a bonfire, and there's a video of Zach doing it, and apparently Grace has the video, so did she get paid off to not release the video?
I mean, I think yes.
Yeah. I could see it.
Because it doesn't make sense that she's so outspoken all the time, but now she's taking time to reflect. Grace said on her Instagram story, "I wish I didn't even have to say this, but there is no world where I would ever take money from that clown to shut me up. It's been quite the year, and I'm still not ready to talk about it online. I'm just happy Brie is free from that piece of shit. That's all for now."
Honestly, poor Grace. It feels like she went through the emotional abuse just as much as Brie did.
And you do know that because best friends
Yeah.
are right there in the thick of it. And sometimes then they get the wrath of the person in the relationship too, because that's the hard part. You don't want to say bad things about
the person's boyfriend.
the boyfriend because if they get back together, but then you also want to be able to give your opinion. And that's probably why Zach didn't like her because he's trying to control Brie and take an isolator away from people that are going to say, hey, this guy's bad for you.
And I think he knew Grace could see straight through him and straight through his bullshit.
Through the pink-colored glasses.
Through the pink skies. But I'm interested to see when Grace will actually speak out. Because if she was paid, she wouldn't have wrote that. But maybe she was paid just to not post that video.
Right.
Because Brie said in the podcast, this video will never get released of Zach screaming.
We'll see. But Brie is speaking out. She's thanking Dave. She's like, everybody needs a Dave. And,
yes.
which was big for us, she's coloring her hair again.
Yes. I guess Bryan didn't let her color her hair. So.
Well, because she just went dark all of a sudden and went back to her natural.
Because she went dark when she was dating him.
Yeah. And she wrote, I can finally dye my hair again. So a control thing, maybe he did not allow her to. So maybe she's going to go pink. He didn't let her choose the color of her own hair.
As we have seen, this has just taken social media by storm, and everyone is kind of like out there chirping Zach for the different revelations.
It's literally every headline. Even news outlets that like wouldn't normally talk about country stars or people that aren't like A-list,
or like
A-list.
Social influencers.
Yeah. And it has taken the world by storm.
It has. And the Boston Bruins had Brie's back.
Yes. Okay, this was pretty genius.
This is funny.
Last night we let the liquor talk. Last night we let the liquor talk. Last night we let the liquor talk.
So the Boston Bruins are definitely Team Brie. Boston
strong.
loyalty. And they all joined in singing last night. Not as well as we did.
No.
But
To kind of throw a little shade at Zach there.
yeah.
So
and
that's funny.
shade they did.